Hello guys, today we're looking at the SPDR or Spider Build-A figure from the latest wave of Marvel Legends. This figure comes in 6 parts: right leg, torso, head, left arm, and right arm. And each respective parts comes with these figures as follow. The head comes with the cloak figure, the torso comes with the dagger figure, the right arm comes with Shadowland Daredevil, left arm comes with Scarlet Spider, right leg comes with Spider-Man House of M, and finally the left leg comes with Elektra. So, once you've went out, purchased all those figures, spent your $120+ or so, you can finally build this. And though it's not the most instantly recognizable Build-A-Figure, it is nicely done nonetheless. And mind you, it's a figure that I never thought we would get, due to the semi-obscurity of it. You know, it's not Apocalypse, it's not Galactus, it's not like somebody sees it and they instantly realize it's Marvel. This could honestly be in a Transformers film and people wouldn't really notice, I guess. It doesn't scream Marvel, which, I mean, I'm not complaining of the design, I'm just stating that it was an odd choice for a Build-A-Figure. Anyways, let's get on to the figure itself. The figure comes with decent articulation, and the pops pop on and off quite easily, so no really worries of any pegs getting broken or anything. But I will make my first complaint here. It doesn't really feature all the articulation I really wish it could, given that it's difficult to stand and there's really not much motion in the legs, due primarily since these joints up here are only a swivel. These balls are only swivel joints, they don't rotate back or forth really. They don't have huge hinges in them, they're just a ball and socket there. So you don't have really all that huge range. And there's no articulation in the hip here. Your legs are just locked right there, you can't swivel the hip. But let's look at the articulation itself. The head is a ball joint with a swivel as well, so good range of motion there. Torso has a ball joint. Shoulders are these really weird combinations. Let's grab this and put this down here. As you can see, there's no ball joint here, but there's a slight amount of motion in this little pivot here. So you have a little bit of shoulder motion, but not really anything to write home about. But you primarily have a swivel here. Then you have a swivel on the bicep well, just a joint on the elbow, and a ball joint on the wrist, and the same is mirrored for the other side. Finally, on the legs, as I was mentioning before, you have these really weird ball and sockets on the waist that don't really allow you to move the legs in or out too much. And then couple that with the fact that you don't have no hip swivel, well, thigh swivel, you have these really static legs that really only pose in one dimension, but they do feature double jointed knees, which allow you to get great range of motion when you're if you want to do in like a run animation or something, well, I guess. It nonetheless. And then finally, your last bit of articulation is the ankles, which the ankles are very stiff, don't really have much motion to them, and you won't really be using this motion off until it swivels back and then has the ball joint. And there is the figure articulation wise. Now paint wise. This figure is extremely clean when it comes to paint. I have no complaints with it. All these lines are very well done here. All these lines are really crispy, they didn't really miss out. They even got this nice little neck deco there on this tube or hose, whatever you wish to call it. All the paint on this entire Build-A-Figure is extremely well done, and I applaud them for it. It's really a really clean figure. My just only complaints from the waist down. Above that, figure's fine. Now finally, the last thing I wish to address here is this figure's scale. If he can even fit in the frame here, because he's a monster of a figure. Let's move him back a little bit. There we go. He's kind of looking up there, but it'll have to do. And now let's grab a figure from this very wave, Marvel's Dagger. So this figure will scale the same as all your Black Widows, all your Wasps, stuff like that, considering it's using the same body sculpt. And as you can see here, the figure towers above her. Even with its knees bent and its torso tilted back, it still is a good torso above. Like, oof. Up here's where you're looking. And I'm sure if you could stand much better than I could, you could bend these knees to full extension, have him be a lot closer and have his torso flipped a little bit more towards, he'd be way taller. But it's still a massive Build-A-Figure. Like, even looking at the largest figure of the wave, Cloak here, we can set him right up. He still just absolutely towers over height-wise. So he's not too thick or anything around. He's rather a delicate figure per se. But you do get a lot of figure with this. So overall, it's a very fun Build-A-Figure, something that I didn't expect. It's something different. It's not just a random weird monster or something, or a repaint of the same T-Rex Absorbing Man body or whatever. So I'm glad that Hasbro went out, gave us a whole new figure, something that we would never really expect, and something that you wouldn't really see as an individual figure. So this definitely warranted the Build-A-Figure spot. They did a good job on it. They didn't do perfect on it, but for a completely new sculpt, I can overlook the lack of articulation or the lack of some sort of motion. Overall, it's a very good figure. It allows for a lot of posing of the upper body at least. So you can get him in these cool poses or whatnot, really doing what he does. But overall, I'll give this figure a 7 out of 10. The paint job, very good. The sculpt itself, very good. But the lack of articulation in the hips, which really locked these legs down, hurt a lot. But that's really my only complaint. I have difficulty standing him. And if you notice, he doesn't really stand flat on his feet because his feet don't rock back or forth either. So he's more just using the sides of his feet whenever I try to stand him or anything. Maybe you can position him like this, where he's leaning in on himself, and then you use the bottom of the feet, but it just looks a little wonky. The legs have good sculpts, but the articulation just does not agree with them. See, there you go, that's the best pose you can, and he's already down. So, yeah, the feet are just kind of small with the weight of the figure. You can stand him, but he is slightly annoying. Overall, still a good figure, and if you see him, pick him up. Kind of like I just did here. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching.